Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Anybody paying the least bit of attention to the Olympics?
Oh, I'm glad you brought this up because I made a big mistake the other day.
What?
Yeah, so I could have sworn I had two separate brackets up when we were talking about the Olympics. Remember how I said the men and women U.S. hockey teams are both in the gold medal round? Whoops.
Yeah.
No, that's not right.
Oh.
No, because I was walking by a TV
Really?
yesterday, and I saw it was like Sweden versus Canada, and I'm like, wait a minute.
So the women lost?
No, okay, so hold on. It was the men playing, and I thought, that doesn't make sense. The U.S. dudes, anyway, the U.S. dudes are
Lost.
They're not even medaling.
That's right.
I screwed that
They
up.
lost in the quarterfinals
Yes.
to Canada, which sucks.
Well, they ended up also losing in a shootout, ultimately.
No.
It's somebody else. Anyway, yeah, they're just not going to get a medal. But yes,
Darn
the
it.
U.S. women did lose to Canada for the gold. Correct. Sorry. So there.
Sucks. That sucks.
Yeah.
Thank you for bringing me down.
Well, I
even
wanted
further.
to. I've been wanting to say that for like the last 24 hours. So.
The only other way I'm getting any Olympic information really is when I come across something on the internet, and I just came across something that Michaela Schifrin, you know who she is? She's going to be America's most decorated, most winning skier of all time, even over what was her name? Vaughn.
Leslie Vaughn?
Not Leslie. It's Lindsey Vaughn.
Lindsey Vaughn. I was so close.
Lindsey Vaughn. How quickly they forget. And I think she's commentating these Olympics, as a matter of fact. Anyway, she surpassed Lindsey Vaughn, who was the previous best of all time. She has completely washed out in the individual competition in these Olympics. She didn't finish 3 times. She finished 5th once and 9th another time. Sucks. And she was like a gold medal favorite in every race. Sucks. Can't tell you how many Americans that's happened to. So I don't know where we are in the standings. Last time I checked, we were 3rd.
I'll check.
Yeah, we're probably 3rd or 4th or something. Norway was number 1.
Yeah, we're 3rd.
3rd still?
So we're 3rd with 21 total medals, but
how many gold?
8. So Norway 13, Germany 10,
Dang!
USA 8 medals.
How many total medals does Norway have?
28.
That's almost 1 for every person in the country.
Yeah.
That's everybody who lives in Norway has won an Olympic medal this time. That's amazing. You know, it's like, I don't know, 5.3 million people. Seriously, it's not the population of the DFW Metroplex. And they're doing this. They're number 1 in the Olympic Games.
Oh, I just refreshed. It's actually Norway 29 total medals, Germany 22. So now we are alone in 3rd place with 21.
All right. Yeah, we're not going to win these games, obviously. But, 3rd, whatever.
As long as we beat China.
Yes, please. And we are.
Yeah, they're
And
5th.
normally, when you host the games, you win a crap ton of medals, but they're not.
Because you're in all of the events.
Right.
You're guaranteed to be in the events.
Yep. Yeah, and there's something about having the crowd behind you. Of course, there's no crowds, so maybe that has something to do with it as well. All right, 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. We got this tweet.
Oh, yes. The Super Bowl private jets leaving L.A. on Sunday night.
Bastards. Over 140 private planes left Los Angeles within 5 hours of the Super Bowl.
Look at that.
Including one that flew 13 plus hours back to Vienna, Austria.
But y'all recycle now.
Yeah, right.
Use your paper straws.
Right.
Do you love the environment?
Well, they do. But you can't hold them to the same standards as the rest of us.
My bad.
These are important people.
You're right. You're right.
If you can afford to take a private jet from Vienna, Austria to Los Angeles for the Super Bowl, you're an important person. And you can't be held to the same standards
I bet
as the little guy.
The ticket probably costs more than the fuel, though.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. But for the 2nd year in a row, the home team won the Super Bowl at their home.
So
Tampa Bay last year and the Los Angeles Rams this year. And before last year had never happened in the history of football.
put your money on the Arizona Cardinals if you think this trend will hold.
And that's not a bad idea, actually. I mean, they're pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know.
They keep it all together. Is Kyler Murray going to leave?
Kyler Murray's got issues right now, man. He's scrubbing his social media accounts of all references to the Cardinals.
I saw some of that, yeah.
He is.
What? Why? Do we know why?
He wants an extension.
Of course he does. I love that when you sign a 5-year deal or whatever. And 1 year into it, yeah, I want an extension or I'm not going to play. Wait, we just signed you last year. Yeah, that doesn't matter.
Market changed.
Yeah. I saw somebody else making more money than me. Now I want to make more money than them.
Then sign 1-year deals.
Right. Right. I mean, they're just meaningless, these deals that they sign now. Meaningless. By the way, enjoy all of this while you can, because CNN just alerted us. We only have 30 years left. Now, other people are saying 9 or 8, but the U.S. sea levels will rise rapidly.
No.
Yeah, rapidly in the next 30 years, according to a new report from CNN.
Okay.
It's an alarming forecast for the United States of America. Sea level rise. The sea level will rise as much in the next 30 years as it did in the past 100.
Wait, we've seen the picture, 100-year-old picture,
right,
that shows it hasn't changed at all off the coast of England.
Right. Well, that's what they're saying. The next 30 years are going to be so much worse than the last 100.
Oh, okay.
You could throw all that out the window,
made their
my
point.
friend.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. Increasing the frequency of high tide flooding, pushing storm surge to the extreme, of course, and inundating vulnerable coastal infrastructure with salt water. That doesn't sound good.
It does not.
It sounds like all of the cataclysmic movies that we see now, that where the sea level is all through Manhattan, and you've probably seen movies with that.
I've seen the clips.
Theme.
I'm not watching Day After Tomorrow or whatever it is. Let's hide in the library.
Well, that's the only place that can withstand the 100-degree below weather.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are there still books in there to burn, or had they already done that by then?
No, there's a few left.
Okay.
Yeah, and you'll be fine if you make it in there. The interagency report led by the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, shows how scientists are increasingly confident that U.S. coasts will see another 10 to 12 inches of sea level rise by 2050. Implications of that forecast are enormous.
Oh, no.
The underwater future. What sea level rise will look like around the globe? Well, this report is a wake-up call for at least the United States, but it's a wake-up call with a silver lining.
Oh, okay. All right. We got some hope.
Yeah.
All right.
It provides us with information needed to act now to best position ourselves for the future. Right. This gives them another excuse to scream global warming, climate change, sea level rise, and so we've got to stop all
and build back better
of our industry and build back better. Right. Capitalism has to go because that's what's killing this planet. I don't know if you're aware of that. Really, the biggest problem we face right now is capitalism.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, when you say it like that,
then it spurs you to do something about it, I hope.
Yeah.
Beyond 2050, the amount of sea level rise the U.S. will experience is highly dependent on how much the world cuts fossil fuel emissions, well, of course, and limits global temperature rise.
Wait, is that the silver lining?
That's, I guess so, yeah, because we can do something about it.
Oh.
Robert Kopp, a climate scientist at Rutgers and co-author of the report, said sea level rise is becoming increasingly sensitive to the amount of warming the planet is experiencing. For example,
example time.
If global warming can be held to around 2 degrees above pre-industrial levels, NOAA estimates sea level rise in the U.S. could be limited to 2 feet by the end of the century. If temperatures are allowed to skyrocket, like we have any control over that, it's just asinine. That forecast increases to not 2 feet, but 7 feet.
Boom, 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 boom.
The ice shelf holding back the Doomsday Glacier could shatter within the next 5 years, scientists warn.
Because it's so warm, right? Is that what's happening? Is it melting and whatnot?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's like when you have ice in a glass and it melts and then it spills all over your table. You know how that works?
No, it doesn't.
And you're like, wait.
No, that's not
how
it goes. No.
I thought the volume didn't change, but I guess it does.
Precisely. And people need to remember that. The volume does not change. It's like if you have a cube of ice is taking up, and just pull it out, right?
Yeah.
It's taking up as much space as the water would.
Right.
Almost identical.
So when it melts back into a liquid form, it's the same level. Same level. You know, and Michael Schellenberger, I think it's him that makes that point in his book. It's like, hey, the glass of water thing is a real thing. Okay, the glass of water with ice in it, when it melts, what happens? Does it overflow the glass? No. Why? Because the volume's the same. That's why. So,
Well, our education system will take care of people learning that.
Yeah.
Kids will know.
Yeah, our kids are learning the opposite.
Yep.
You know, and why do we mock this? I don't know, because they've been wrong every single time.
I mean, you say that a lot, okay?
Yeah.
But do you have
But can I give any examples?
Right.
No, I can't.
You cannot.
Okay, I can give a couple of examples.
Okay. Let's try. Let's see if you can.
Modern doomsayers have been predicting climate and environmental disaster since the 1960s at least. And they continue to do it today. None of the apocalyptic predictions with due dates as of today have come true. Do they care about that?
No.
Not in the least. They just keep making them.
And this was this was all put together by the Competitive Enterprise Institute, I think. Put this stuff
Let's see.
together.
Thanks, Tony Heller, who first collected many of these news clips and posted them on Real Climate Science.
Okay, Real Climate Science did it, and then
Yeah.
I think CEI put them together. But yeah, I mean,
So
they've
good.
not gotten anything right. So just remember that as they continue to make doomsaying prediction after prediction here.
And again, we've mentioned some of these before, but I think it's worth mentioning when new things come out like CNN. We're all going to be underwater in 30 years. Yeah. No, we're not. No, we're not. While such predictions have been and continue to be enthusiastically reported by the media for sensational headlines, the failures are never revisited, except by us. In 1967, the headline was, 67, dire famine by 1975. Is it 1975 yet?
Now this is math. I don't know. I don't know.
Here's how the article went.
Okay.
It's already too late for the world to avoid a long period of famine.
It was too late in what did you say, 68?
Yeah, 67.
Wow.
Yeah, it's already too late. Sorry, you're going to die in a famine. And of course, it's Paul Ehrlich, who's wrong about everything, and then people still turn to him today. Hey, Paul, what do you think is going to happen? Why would you ask this of a man who has never been correct in his entire career? So Ehrlich said the time of famines is upon us and will be at its worst and most disastrous by 1975. He said the population of the United States is already too big, that birth control may have to be accompanied by making it involuntary. Oh, so forced child limits like they had in China for so long. That worked really well in China with 1.4 billion people. And by the way, they took off those limits in China because they're thinking, geez, we've got zero population growth going right now. So they might have to put sterilizing agents into staple foods and drinking water.
Wow.
Can you imagine?
Wow.
And that the Roman Catholic Church should be pressured into going along with the routine measures of population control. Oh, okay, Paul. Good thing nobody listened to your stupid nonsense. The New York Times, I mean, that was way before the time when people were taking this seriously.
Yeah.
You kind of laughed it off back then, but now that's not happening anymore. New York Times, Sunday, August 10th, 1969.
Okay.
Foe of pollution, like pollution has allies. Yeah, I want more pollution. Foe of pollution sees lack of time. Asserts environmental ills outrun public concern.
Oh, no.
Boy, that's for sure. 1969, that's really... Oh, and again, the trouble with almost all environmental problems, says Paul Ehrlich, the population biologist, is that by the time we have enough evidence to convince people, you're dead. We must realize that unless we're extremely lucky, everybody will disappear in a cloud of blue steam in 20 years.
I love it.
Ouch. Let's see. Okay, since 1969. Have 20 years passed yet? Huh. This would have been 1989. I didn't see the cloud of blue steam.
You didn't see that?
There's still quite a number of people on this planet. Wrong again, Paul. But thanks for playing our game. Jeez. Source, New York Times, August 10th, 1969. 1970 is when this prediction happened. Ice Age by 2000 was the headline. So an ice age. The exact opposite of what they're predicting now, but caused by the exact same thing. CO2. Air pollution, scientist predicts a new ice age by 21st century. This is great.
Where is it?
Air pollution may obliterate the sun and cause a new ice age in the first third of the next century. The demands for cooling water will boil dry the entire flow of the rivers and streams of continental United States. Wow, all our water is going to be gone. Dang it. That's from James P. Lodge Jr. He made that dire prediction.
In 1970. Okay.
Yeah, so an ice age by 2000. And then here we are with Paul Ehrlich again. Dr. Ehrlich, outspoken ecologist to speak. And what did he have to say? Well, giving aspirins to cancer victims is what Paul Ehrlich thinks of current proposals for pollution control. No real action has been taken to save the environment, he maintains. And it does need saving. Ehrlich predicts that the oceans will be as dead as Lake Erie in less than a decade.
Wait.
Again, that's from October 6th, 1970.
And we ended up taking care of Lake Erie. So
Yeah.
like, even that ended up...
Right. Lake Erie is really pretty clean now. At least it doesn't burst into flame anymore.
Right. Where is Paul Ehrlich still around? I
Yeah.
mean,
He is. And he's still making the same kind of predictions.
He needs to answer for this stuff.
Seriously, nobody holds his feet to the fire. America will be subject to water rationing by 1974 and food rationing by 1980. Damn it.
Yeah.
I hate that when that happens. And then they wonder why we're skeptical. They wonder, why don't you believe? Why are you conspiracy theorists deny science?
You know, as you're reading these, Pat, all I can think of is the COVID stuff. The
Same thing.
Same elites in
Yeah.
our society
Yep.
make these dire predictions about COVID,
Yep.
and then
then
we're expected to change
Trump.
our life.
Right? U.S. scientist sees new ice age coming. This from 1971 now. Dr. S.L. Razul of the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, or NOAA, and Columbia University. So all these brainiacs, all these elitists, just absolutely trying to scare the crap out of Americans so that, we'll end industry in this country and let China completely take over. If they had their way, that's what would happen. In the next 50 years, he said, in 1971 again, so it's been beyond that now, the fine dust man constantly puts into the atmosphere by fossil fuel burning could screen out so much sunlight that the average temperature could drop by 6 degrees. If sustained over several years, 5 to 10, he estimated, such a temperature decrease could be sufficient to trigger an ice age. Of course.
So the 70s,
we were all worried about an ice age.
Right.
Brought on, by the same thing that is contributing to global warming.
And on with the predictions.
That's crazy. Then there's this from Brown University from 1972, December 3rd, 1972. So they had a big meeting.
All right.
And
Let's get this thing
got together
fixed.
a bunch of scientists, reported back to the president, Dear Mr. President, the main conclusion of the meeting was that a global deterioration of climate by order of magnitude larger than any hitherto experienced by civilized mankind.
Get a hitherto.
Yeah. The very real possibility, and indeed may be due very soon.
Oh, no.
The cooling has natural cause and falls within the rank of processes which produced the last ice age.
Wow. The letter to the President of the United States in 1972. Here comes the next ice age. Too late.
And then in 1974, we get this new ice age coming fast. I love it. We should tweet this out so people can go over
we're gonna
this.
do
Show
that.
their global warming friends.
Yep.
Space satellites show new ice age coming fast.
1974. Boy, so they're They're on the Ice Age kick.
Yeah. Yeah, they're certain that an ice age is coming. It happens that blocking any... Yeah, okay, I can't read it.
Oh, let's see here. I already closed my deal here. You want to throw it over here?
Already,
Let's see.
It's already jammed together.
It happens at blocking
something.
Anticyclones.
Oh, is that what it is?
Play an important role in the characteristics of weather in the northern hemisphere and account for some adverse changes in our own climate. However,
dang it.
So Pat, you got another one there? Is there something from Time?
Another
magazine?
Ice Age?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, from Time. This from June 24th, 1974. Telltale signs are everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere.
And we hear the same stupid thing today.
Okay, so that was, 1974, Time magazine?
74.
Okay, so then something happens.
Uh-huh.
All right, and then 15 years later...
These are all Ice Age predictions.
All Ice Age stuff,
Keep
right?
in mind.
And then something changes.
Oh, wow. Now there's a great peril to life. What? Gas pairs away Earth's ozone. Remember the ozone problem?
Oh, snap.
We're going to lose the ozone layer.
There we go.
There was a hole in the ozone.
Where a tree once stood?
Yes.
And
somebody's
There's
making money.
There's a hole in the sky where the tree once was. Somebody's making money.
So now we have the ozone situation, which you don't hear a peep about anymore. Why? Because the ozone fixed itself. The Earth self-repairs. It's amazing that way. It's absolutely amazing what the Earth can do. And they know this, but they just keep making the dire predictions anyway. Because it's not really about saving the planet. It's about increasing their power and control and their bank accounts. You know, you look at a guy like Al Gore, who was just probably average as far as, congressional wealth is concerned. And then what happened? He left office, devoted full time to climate change, global warming, bought into every industry he talked about, and became a climate billionaire. I mean, the guy's a climate billionaire. And nobody says, hey, he's exploiting, he's playing on our fears. Remember that? A little discussion?
I sure do.
And nobody says that about him.
No, he's
he betrayed our country.
He cares about this planet, Pat.
Oh,
and,
are you kidding me?
There's no...
Absolutely does. I got to find that.
You got to find, okay.
Yeah. And...
He betrayed this country.
Yeah. He played on our fears.
He took America.
Talking about Bush, of course, George W.
On an ill-conceived foreign adventure, dangerous to our troops, an adventure that was preordained and planned before 9/11 ever took place.
Oh, wow.
Wow, that's incredible. That's incredible.
Okay.
And we got a whole bunch of predictions here. Arctic ozone hole area, which was, going to melt everything, I guess, in the Antarctic. 1976, they talked about the cooling. New York Times book review talked about acid rain killing life in lakes. Yeah, I don't hear anything about acid rain anymore either.
Yeah, where's the acid rain?
I miss acid rain. Don't you miss it?
Yes.
Yeah, that was a good discussion. That was fun.
You were afraid every time it was going to rain, your skin was going to melt.
Okay.
But
10 years later, the U.S. government program formed to study acid rain concluded, that there's no problem there. In 1978, no end in sight to the 30-year cooling trend. Also in 1978, January 5th, 1978. But according to NASA satellite data, there's a slight warming trend since 1979.
So we've tweeted this out at Pat Unleash if you want to follow along here. But we need to make a leap here to 1989 because 10 years removed, the United Nations gets involved.
Yeah, and they're talking global warming.
And now it's global warming time is
warming.
the problem here.
And James Hansen, who is screaming also with Paul Ehrlich about the coming ice age. Now, in 1988, James Hansen forecasts increased regional drought from global warming in the 1990s.
Oh, boy.
Man, oh, man. 1988 also from Washington, D.C. days over 90 to from 35 to 85. What? I don't even understand that headline.
So I guess they're saying there were 85 days right? That were over 90 degrees.
It went from 35
Yeah.
to 85 days over 90.
But the truth of it is the number of hot days in the D.C. area peaked in 1911 and have been declining
Ever since. Yeah, and that's what they keep harping on. You know, it's going to be frequent and more severe. Mm-hmm. And none of that is true. None of it. So, yeah, 15 years later, the global warming push was underway. UN predicts disaster if global warming not checked. They smartened up, though. They realized, all right, people aren't buying global warming because it gets cold too often. And plus, we'd have to claim, and they still are really, that every single year is warmer than the one before. And so that's when they came up with climate change, climate weirding, all of the things that they use.
Yeah, so in 2000, quote, children won't know what snow is. Remember that one? Let's see. Britain's going to have a Siberian climate by 2020. That's in 2004.
Oh, wow.
But wait a minute. That should have been said 20 years prior. Remember when they were doing all the cold stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, Al Gore, you know, your buddy over there, warns of an ice-free Arctic by 2013. And again, since I'm not good at math here, you're going to help me out. 2013. Has that happened yet?
No, not yet.
So that's still out there.
Some time. Yeah.
So that might happen yet.
Senior UN environmental official says entire nations could be wiped off the face of the earth by rising sea levels if the global warming trend is not reversed by the year 2000.
2009, Prince Charles says only 8 years to save the planet. So what's 8 plus 2009, Pat? Again, not good with the math.
Put you right around 2017-ish.
Has that happened?
No.
Okay, so that one's still out.
Yeah,
there
that's
too.
still out there. It's only 2022 now. We haven't hit 2017.
But
yet.
do you want to fix the planet?
I do.
Well, you know how you do that?
How do you do that?
Well,
shut down industry.
shut down industry.
Stop driving cars.
Stop driving cars. Yes, you're on it. Yeah.
No more SUVs.
Or big trucks
Or big trucks.
delivering goods where they need to go.
Right. Thank you, Keith. Well said. It's madness. And again, we're the stupid ones.
Yeah.
We're the ones who aren't following science. If we followed science, how many ways would they have taken us in the last 50 years? We would have twisted everything up, shut down our industry, and been passed by China and Russia and Zimbabwe a long time ago.
Well, UPS is leading the charge. They're going to help us.
They're going to have a new way to
Yes.
deliver things in New York going forward.
Yeah.
Oh, do we have...
This is the future of package delivery in New York City.
Take the
good.
mask
UPS
off,
is going to
dummy.
be
I know.
using these
You're outside.
e-bikes with these cargo containers.
You're outside.
to
Nobody's
replace a
around.
lot
It's
of
an
their
e-bike.
trucks
See?
in New York City. There's legislation in Albany
No.
Legislation.
that
in
would
Albany.
allow them to do this, and this will take a lot of those large trucks.
Oh, good.
Oh,
Off
thank
the
goodness.
road.
Thank goodness.
This back cargo piece is detachable,
Okay.
so these bikes will be able to drive right into a lot of buildings.
He's out of shape.
Put these right in the cargo area, cargo elevator.
No.
So it's a bike.
It's the
Yeah.
future.
It's
the
not
future.
powered by an
It's the
engine at
future.
all? That's our future
Yeah.
right there. That's your future. I'm getting out of UPS if that's the future. I don't want to pedal my way around Manhattan.
That's third world fun right there.
It is. It is. And who doesn't love third worldness?
Third worldification,
Everybody.
baby. Third worldification.
Right. They can't bring the third world up to our level, so they've got to pull us down to theirs. And that's what the effort is with climate change.
Can you see? You've worked in New
Jeez.
York City. Can you see getting on the elevator and be like, excuse me, UPS bike coming through? Obviously, they probably use the freight elevator, but still. And then what are they going to do? Hold on a second. Let's think this through. They get up to the... Do they get up to the floor? I guess I don't understand what happens. Do they take the bike up the elevator and then... What a disaster.
Probably.
This is stupid.
I mean, who knows?
This is...
There are dozens and dozens and dozens of these failed predictions. And again, not one of them was correct.
Yeah,
not one.
You can find that list at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Share it with your friends. Tell them where you found it.
Pat Gray is here, and he's unleashed.
Please do not use gendered language to address everyone.
Let me take a minute and tell you about Birch Gold Group. I mean, things are getting chaotic now, and they're going to get more so this year. The Fed has announced that inflation, or the interest rate, is fair game, and they might raise it as many as 5 times during the course of the year. With inflation already high, you need to hedge your bet here with gold, silver, with precious metals. Diversify your savings into gold and silver with Birch Gold Group. Birch Gold Group is a company that I recommend for precious metals. They have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, countless 5-star reviews, and thousands of satisfied customers. And they can help you protect your hard-earned savings. Right now, thanks to a little-known section of the IRS tax code, you can legally move your IRA or 401k into precious metals with no tax implications or penalties of any kind. To get started protecting your savings with gold in a tax-sheltered account, request a free info kit from Birch Gold by texting the word PAT to 989-898. And then they send you a comprehensive 20-page kit to give you all the information to make you super comfortable with this. There's no cost. There's no obligation. So why wait? Text PAT to the number 989-898. Again, you can get the free information by texting PAT to 989-898.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
We got some tweets here. Lynn Kozlowski tweets, can I get one tweet on? Pretty please? Well, there you go.
All right.
Congratulations, Lynn.
Nice job, Lynn. Yeah, come on.
From Pickapool, U.S. is probably doing so poorly in the gold medal count because global warming is hitting us harder than Norway and Germany. Right? Right.
Yeah.
Americans don't even know what snow is anymore.
Right.
Although there was something that fell in Dallas a couple weeks ago. Was it cocaine? I don't know. It was white. It's all over the place.
It was cold cocaine. Yes.
Postmaster Jeffy tweets they're trying to ramp up the climate doomsday talk so they can run Al Gore for president again.
Oh, please no.
Oh, jeez.
That can't be. No. No, he's kept a low profile lately.
Sure has.
He made his, boku millions, like you said, off of fossil fuels.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's burning fossil fuels.
I'm good, thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Carol remarks, Back to the Future was more right with its predictions than this blue mist asshat.
Yeah, where is... I want my blue mist!
I'm not sure I want all of humanity to disappear with it, but the blue mist might be cool.
Uh-huh.
Kofefe's Batacafcare. Maybe they did such a good job fighting global cooling. They created global warming.
Oh, no. Unintended consequence.
Hadn't looked at it that way, but you might be right. Night Squats tweets, whether global warming, cooling, or clowning, the fact that the solution always involves embracing communism is proof that they just can't figure out how to sell coerced collectivism to free people.
That's the truth.
They're trying, though. I mean, they got some things going, like the Great Reset. Glenn's talking about this a lot. The whole reset and the ESG thing.
Mm-hmm.
ESG standing, and almost all companies are using it.
I know, man.
All major companies.
Yeah.
And I Googled it a few times lately, and nobody's saying anything alarming about it. It's
right.
like, they use this ESG score to give loans and things.
Yeah.
Okay, they're using an environmental, social, government way to give people credit or not?
What?
Huh.
Man, I want to see my ESG score. It's got to be like a negative number. I don't care. The environment, social, don't care. Government, the government. I've got to have a negative number.
The World Economic Forum posted this the other day on Twitter. Welcome to 2030. I own nothing, have no privacy, and life has never been better.
Yeah, but who said that? It's not like anybody important, right? It was just...
Ida Auken, a member of parliament in Denmark. I wouldn't worry about it. Just some kook.
Oh, she said this back in 2016?
Holy cow.
Oh, she was giving us a heads up.
Incredible. It's incredible. I mean, they don't even hide it anymore because they don't think they can be stopped. Hopefully they got another thing coming, but we'll see. We'll see. But they've been warning. I mean, here it is.
I kind of want to walk around Ida Auken's house to see if she has a problem with it.
Yeah, if she has anything. Yeah. In fact, do you have a house? You shouldn't.
Right.
Shouldn't own anything.
Well, I meant, you don't care about not having privacy.
Yeah.
Right? You don't own anything, so I'm just going to come in there. I'm just going to sit down. I'm going to watch some football or something on your TV.
Yeah, let's see.
But
she'd be really happy with that.
Right.
Happier than ever before.
But you shouldn't own anything.
No.
Right? You want to be happy, right, Ida?
Well, imagine there's no possessions.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
It isn't hard to do.
Uh-huh.
Nothing to kill or die for. And you know what? No religion, too. So wouldn't that be a great world? Imagine it. Imagine that world.
Should I imagine all the people?
Yeah, living for today. Not worrying about tomorrow and what that'll bring. Just live for today. Consequences be damned. I mean, I think that was pretty admittedly a song about the Communist Manifesto. And people are still, I love Imagine by John Lennon. Do you?
Oh, boy.
Do you? Okay.
Man, I tell you. See, when we lived in New Jersey and my oldest was still very young, she could not have been, I don't know, maybe 7 years old, 8 years old. And she had a ballet recital to that song. Let's put it this way. It was
you were pleased?
It was a very long, thoughtful conversation on the way back home that night when I was picking her up from rehearsal.
Good.
Yeah, let's talk about that song,
Good.
shall we?
That's great. If more parents did that, we wouldn't have a generation of young people who think communism is the way to go and it's far superior to capitalism. Capitalism is mean, vicious, hateful, and it's killing people all over the world and bringing on global warming. Communism, though, I mean, that's all of us being together in a united cause.
Yeah, but if you had more parents doing that, you'd have more kids going, I got it, Dad. Dr. Benjamin Rush, underrated founding father. We got it.
Calvin Coolidge, okay? One of the best presidents in the history of the United States of America that nobody ever talks about. Okay. That's
literally what me and my kids, that's what we do for fun now, Pat. So my kids are older, and so they're teenagers, they have jobs, and it's rare that they're all three in the house at the same time now, right? Because they've all got very active lives. But boy, when all three of them are together, they know, oh crap, here comes Dad with another book
lecture
of Calvin Coolidge.
Yeah,
Whoa, here we go. Gather around, kids. It's Calvin Coolidge story time again. Yeah.
It's the only thing that'll save us.
That's true.
Is educating the youth on what is really being taught to them, because they don't know. They don't have the life experience. So wait till they wake up when they're 25 and realize, geez, you're taking 40% of my salary? Just the federal income tax? Hey, something's wrong here.
Yeah.
So
You got to protect your kids, man.
Yeah, you do.
You got to teach them.
Apparently, the military spent 6 million man-hours on woke training so far under Joe Biden. 6 million man-hours on an extremism stand-down and diversity, equity, and inclusion training program since Biden took office. The chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Army General Mark Milley, provided that data to Senate Armed Services Committee Republicans in response to an October 2021 request. I remember we played that. And Milley said, yeah, I'm going to have to, I don't know the figures, I'm going to have to get back to you. He actually apparently did. The data showed that service members spent a total of 5,889,082 man hours,
6 million.
to be exact. Right, I exaggerated.
Wow, dude.
But they spent that many hours, man hours, on the stand down, a day when all commanders in the military spoke to their troops about extremism, and on DEI, including critical race theory. Oh, we didn't even know any of this was going on. So they're trying to subvert the military now, too.
Yeah, this is well underway. Yeah, it's good times. I mean, this is, we're training our military to be prepared for the wars of the future. CRT.
Senators noted that the Biden administration's Countering Extremism Working Group in December released a report that found fewer than 100 service members had engaged in extremist activity after spending roughly a year studying it. For every documented case of extremism in the military, our military spent a whopping 58,000 hours in training on extremism.
Wow. Less than 100 they identified as extremist after studying it for a year.
While any case of extremist behavior is wrong and harmful to the military readiness, previous defense authorization bills have already equipped the military to handle those cases. Milley's response also showed that the Department of Defense spent more than 1,000 man-hours on a climate adaptation plan.
Yes,
So they're
we're
also
fighting climate.
filling their heads with climate change garbage. Wow. President Braindead is such a tremendous commander-in-chief, isn't he? Because how worried have you been that I don't think our military is spending enough time defending us from the climate? Shouldn't we be aiming our missiles at the clouds?
Do they learn anything about fighting wars? Anything?
Not to read that article.
Is there any time left in a day to learn tactics and strategy?
Well, those things are all mean, and they involve guns. You don't want that, Keith. You don't want that.
Wow.
It's insane, isn't it?
Better hope we don't get involved in a war.
Yep. Somebody's going to have a lot to undo when they're elected in 2024 instead of these stinking extreme Democrats. And let's hope and pray it happens, because if it doesn't, the work is going to be complete by 2028. All right, let me tell you about something that gives you another kind of pain. Inflammation and what you can do about it. Maybe you've tried everything and nothing has worked for you. Give this a try. It's all natural. It's not a drug that you're going to become dependent upon. It's really great. And best of all, of course, it works. It's Omega XL, and it goes to your joints, turns off the inflammation, and thus the pain goes away. Plus, there's the science of it. When we're young, our bodies produce SPMs, which those are nature's way of keeping joints healthy. But as we age, we don't produce enough of them, which could explain why you're in pain and why I was in pain. But Omega XL can restore those SPMs and rejuvenate joints and muscles so you can move like when you were young again. Order Omega XL right now at omegaxl.com/Pat. And when you buy your first bottle, they'll throw in a second one for free. 2 for the price of 1 at omegaxl.com/Pat or 800-844-4888.
It's Pat Gray Unleashed on the Blaze.
Dun, 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 dun. Speaking of our brain-dead president, Biden, I don't think we played this yesterday, did we? The dead dog thing?
No.
It's made the rounds a little bit now, but this is such a weird, such a bizarre speech. He is really out to lunch, and he's not coming home for dinner. Check this out.
I got a call one night. A woman said to me, obviously not of the same persuasion as I was politically, called me and said, "There's a dead dog on my lawn." And I said, "Yes, ma'am." I said, "Have you called the county?" He said, "Yes, they're not here."
Oh.
And I said, "Well, I'll get him in the morning." She said, "I want it removed now. I pay your salary." So
True,
I went
by the
over.
He went over.
Pause it for a second.
Picked it up.
Why is that funny? So I went over. Did you hear what he just said?
No.
He just said, and I'm quoting
He
now.
went over, yeah.
I'm quoting. Cool. So I went over. He went over. I think he's talking about to her house, although he doesn't say it, but it is implied.
I think it's inferred.
Yeah,
But man, we
yeah.
got comedy hour at the White House.
Oh, man. Is this guy performing at Chuckles this weekend? Because he should. He should be a stand-up comic. All right, let's hear the rest.
So I went over. I picked it up. She said, "I want it out of my front yard." I put it on her doorstep.
And he put it on her doorstep because she wanted it off the lawn. A, what does that have to do with anything? And B, what a jerky idiot he was then.
Yeah.
And he's even worse now.
Well, remember, he started this whole story. What is the very first thing he said? Can you play just literally the first 3 seconds, Rob? The first thing he says.
I got a call one night. A woman said to me, obviously not of the same persuasion as I was politically.
Why is that
Okay,
obvious?
stop. Yeah, there you go. Well.
Yeah, because she asked you to do something or she was pissed?
Right, but I'm inferring that, she's a Republican, so I'm going to drop this dead dog on her porch.
Right.
Because there's our uniter right there. Uniter in chief. Oh, yeah? You're a Republican and you want me to do my job? Well, I'm going to leave a dead carcass on your front doorstep.
Seriously, what are we supposed to take from that? What should be the lesson that he's teaching us there?
Where's PETA about showing respect for animals?
And where's PETA? Yeah.
You know what? Last time I tagged them on something, they responded. So it was actually, it turned out to be really good.
Really?
I was like, where's the condemnation for the way Fauci treats beagles?
Oh,
yeah.
You did ask that. And they
weren't happy. Yeah, with Fauci. Yeah, so let's try this again.
Let's do it.
I'm going to find a video of this guy being a, what's the word of the day? Asshat. And, okay.
And let's think this through a little bit, too. Okay, so she asked him to take it off the lawn. So he does. And he puts it on her doorstep. Wow. Then what'd you do? You just left?
Yeah.
And she was fine with that? What a great city councilman he was.
He was a
right?
good guy, right?
A really good guy. Yeah, he cares about his constituents, even the ones who are on the other side of the political spectrum. He loves them. He loves people, and he wants to unite them all. His campaign slogan for 2024 is going to be a dead dog on everybody's doorstep. Wouldn't that be great? It'd be awesome. I can't take it.
So wait a minute.
With this guy.
That was the most lucid we've seen this guy in a long time.
Yeah.
And so when he's wide awake, he tells us stories of dead dogs.
Yeah.
That's him on a good day.
Right.
Help.
Well, he'll probably tell it 15 or 20 more times in the next couple of weeks, like he did the train story with Angie. Ange, the guy who's been dead for 10 years or something, and retired long before that and was never around the train station by the time supposedly the story happened with him. It's unbelievable. 888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up.
Pat Gray is here
Hey,
on the Blaze Radio Network.
And thank you for being here as well. Got some tweets here. Pathead Jukebox tweets, communist countries produce more pollution than capitalist countries, yet capitalism is bad? Mm-hmm. Yeah, you look at China, who continues to pollute at an incredible rate. They don't seem to even be faking an effort to stop the pollution that they spew.
No, they even flout it by putting an Olympic venue right next to a coal plant.
Steel plant or
steel?
whatever it is.
Oh, my bad.
Just Nita tweets, okay, so the polo store I manage gets 30 or so boxes of freight a day from UPS. Each can weigh up to 75 pounds. I'll pay someone to show me they will deliver these on a bike.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. That's a really good point.
You're pedaling around and all these heavy boxes. Not a chance.
Crab Monster 2, and who cares that operating a rickshaw is harder on someone's body? They make way less money for much more effort and serve fewer people. Now your package won't get there for 3 months, but it's green.
It'll be green.
Mm-hmm. Lumbee IT department tweets, I promise you don't want to know how much time the military wastes on useless training. It's endless computer-based training courses and lectures. Yeah, we probably don't want to know, frankly. Man. Also, I got this from Hunking Honky.
That's tough.
Okay. Now we have some ideas what happened to Major.
Oh, no.
Oh, the president's dog.
Oh.
He got left on someone's lawn somewhere.
Oh, no.
Or maybe he did it as a message to one of his enemies. He cut off Major's head and put it in bed with that particular...
No. Wait, you're not supposed to do that to your own dog, old man.
I got confused.
Yeah.
This from Sassy Tall Blonde. We, the people, pay his salary. I want him off our lawn.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Can you believe today is the 1-year anniversary of losing Rush Limbaugh?
Oh.
He died a year ago today. That's incredible. Seems like it was just yesterday.
Sure does, yeah.
But, it's nice to remember him on the anniversary and pretty much every day. I mean, he's the reason I got into talk radio.
Same.
He's the reason probably most of us got into talk radio.
Yep.
Because we admired him and what a great job he did, and talk radio flourished because of Rush. Without Rush, none of this would be happening. Absolutely none of it. When he started his national show in 1988, most talk radio was made up of, maybe a liberal doing the morning show, and then you get a conservative in the middays, and then you get somebody else, in between in the afternoon. You had to balance it all out.
The fairness doctrine.
Fairness doctrine. And then Rush just showed the lunacy of how that can't work. And if you're gonna have a conservative like me on, you're gonna have to surround me with other conservatives, which is what happened. And then if you want to do a liberal broadcast, put liberals on around him. But it's because it's like playing country music in the morning, hard rock in middays, jazz in the afternoon. Nobody's going to listen to that.
Yeah.
You got to be consistent.
Smooth jazz and then right back into country.
Yep.
And you know what? As he always talked about the arena of ideas, right? And they tried a liberal format.
Yeah.
And they failed at it. It failed.
Yes.
And they tried to bring back the fairness doctrine because that's the only way they were going to be heard.
Right. Right. What was the name of the...
Air America.
Air America. Indeed. Miserable failure is what it should have been called. Well, it is now. It's a miserable failure.
Yeah. God bless Rush.
Yeah. Thinking about him on this anniversary day. Jeez. Can't believe it. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. The Washington Inquirer put together a little montage. We've been seeing montages lately of Joe Rogan saying the N-word completely out of context, completely misleading. In fact, it's really a flat-out lie what's circulating. But got the media lying over and over and over again about Donald Trump. Now that we know for a fact that his campaign was spied on, now that it's been proven, now that we've seen the evidence, it's interesting to go back and revisit some of what the media was saying. Meanwhile, 2019.
It's completely wrong. It did not happen. There was no spying. There was.
It's Pizzagate. The conspiracy gene.
Exactly. It's Pizzagate.
Right. Gene is no more.
Pause it for a second.
Pizzagate.
Keep in mind this guy, Joe Scarborough, big time conservative.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, he's a Republican. He's a conservative.
And by the way, can I just say, him using the example of Pizzagate makes you want to go back and take a closer look
Yeah,
at
it does.
Pizzagate.
Yeah, it does. All right, let's see this.
No one was spying on the president through the microwave.
No one spied on the Trump campaign.
There was no spying.
There was no spying.
No spying.
There was 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 no spying.
Wow.
Oh, shut up, Don Lemon.
By the way, there was no spying, of course.
There was really? What do you say now, douche?
No spying
on the Trump campaign.
On the Trump campaign.
It's been a year and a half. There was no spying on the Trump campaign.
Of this crap.
No spying on the Trump campaign.
Which is a conspiracy theory.
No spying on the Trump campaign.
Facts matter.
And, oh, by the way, no, there was no spying on the Trump campaign.
Jeez. That's nice work from the Washington Examiner. There was no spying. No spying. And that's just 35 times. It happened probably 10 or 100 or 1,000 times more than that. And now what do you have to say? Anybody going to correct the record and talk about how wrong they were again? Of course not. Just like they didn't correct any of the bad predictions on climate change, they're certainly not going to go back and say, yeah, we screwed up. Yeah, it didn't really work. Unbelievable. Mm-hmm. By the way, and do you know about the nuclear engineer, accused of trying to sell nuclear submarine secrets? This traitor committing treason, actual treason. The way he passed the secrets, he hid them inside of peanut butter sandwiches.
Okay, that's innovative. All right.
That's how he disseminated his information. He just pleaded guilty to a conspiracy charge that will put him behind bars for up to 17 years. This, to me, is not adequate. I mean, there's one punishment that is spelled out in the Constitution, and that's death for treason, for traitors. Jonathan Toby, 43 years old, who worked for the Naval Nuclear Propulsion Program, and his wife, Diana, were charged with espionage-related crimes after trying to trade secrets for $5 million in cryptocurrency. So what's your price for selling out your nation, your country, the place where you enjoy all of these freedoms and such a great life, the best life possible in the history of this planet? $5 million. All right.
Wait till you hear their motivation.
The FBI intercepted the plot, and when Toby and his wife allegedly passed SD cards hidden in a peanut butter sandwich. Oh, a Band-Aid. They also used a Band-Aid wrapper.
Oh, wow.
And a gum package.
Wow, these guys are crafty.
Undercover agents were on the receiving end. That's awesome. Among the secrets the U.S. government most zealously protects are those related to the design of its nuclear-powered warships. The defendant was entrusted with some of those secrets, and instead of guarding them, he betrayed the trust.
Oh, no. Oh, no, wait. That sounds familiar.
Interesting.
What did he do?
He betrayed... He
betrayed this country.
Oh.
He betrayed this country.
Okay, so that's what he did.
In a peanut butter sandwich.
And a Band-Aid wrapper. Don't forget about that. Among the secrets, so the defendant was entrusted with some of these secrets, and instead of guarding them, he betrayed the trust placed in him, as I just said.
Okay, we got it.
And conspired to sell them to another country for personal profit. It doesn't say which country.
It does not say what country.
That's interesting.
I need to know these things.
Wonder why.
I mean, it could just be this story, but I didn't see it anywhere.
Trying to sell them to Russians, Chinese.
Double check something here,
The fact that it's not mentioned who it is leads me to believe that maybe it was an ally. I don't know, maybe Israel. That's happened before. One of the biggest spy cases of all time, one of the biggest treason cases of all time involved selling secrets to Israel.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Well, this guy who sold out America, he and his wife, he pled guilty. Right? I mean, there's no
his
wife. No question.
His wife's case is still being handled, but separately.
Yeah, but I mean, they got a good reason, right? I mean,
well, let's see. I'm hopefully going to get to that. He's a one-time physics teacher whose social media profile touts an interest in spycraft, and who used the codename Alice. Agreed to return the $100,000 in cryptocurrency the FBI gave the couple to win their trust. He also agreed to allow access to the Proton mail accounts he used to communicate with the Bureau, as well as some 50 packets of secret information he tried to peddle. Guilty, Your Honor, the defendant said multiple times when asked by Magistrate Judge Robert Trumbull if he admitted to conspiring to communicate. And so he did. And the FBI observed Jonathan Toby use a dead drop in Virginia in August of 2020 with an SD card hidden in a chewing gum package. The Bureau sent the Tobys $70,000 in cryptocurrency and received a decryption key. His social media account indicates he was left-leaning. And his wife was an ardent opponent of Donald Trump on social media.
Well, if Trump's the president.
After Trump won the presidency, Diana Toby retweeted multiple #TheResistance hashtags in January 2017 and posted a Women Can Stop Trump Facebook profile picture of herself in 2016. So is this why they did it? Because they were
sounds like
anti-Trump?
Sounds like it. Look, if this guy's going to be the president, we're going to sell out our country.
Wow. Wow.
So, definitely a treasonous act.
That's great. It doesn't really say how the FBI caught wind of him in the first place. It just says that they observed him using a dead drop in Virginia.
Yeah.
How'd you do that? Why were you following him? Why were you watching him? I'd like to know that.
I think an agent was just roaming around a park, saw a half-eaten peanut butter sandwich.
Is that what it was?
And bit into it and like, what in the heck? There's an SD card in here.
Wait,
hey,
this is weird.
There's something up here. I mean, that's probably the only way the FBI could go about solving a crime anyhow. But, you talk about treasonous activity. no one, and we've seen nobody in the media, mainstream media, is talking about what Hillary Clinton and her campaign did with Donald Trump with the absolute spying.
Also essentially treason.
Trying to set him up as a communication with Russia. Now, did you see, are you familiar with, there's a Twitter account, Defiant Els, and it basically, the entire account, all they do, their thing is they post an old tweet and a recent tweet by a liberal and point out the ridiculous hypocrisy. You have to see what they did with Hillary Clinton that got them suspended. I don't know how they got suspended, but can you read that? That top tweet there is from 2016.
Computer scientists have apparently uncovered a covert server linking the Trump organization to a Russian-based bank.
That's cute. So that's, what, 5 days before the election?
Uh-huh.
Okay, and then so...
And then New York Post tweets, Clinton campaign and tech workers to dig up...
Paid tech workers.
Oh, paid, right, not and. The Clinton campaign paid tech workers to dig up Trump-Russia connections.
So there you go.
Oh, my goodness.
So Defiant Els tweets that. That's all they
great.
do. All they did was retweet a Hillary tweet and then the New York Post saying, look at the hypocrisy here.
Yeah.
And that got them suspended from Twitter.
That's unbelievable.
I don't know why. Jeez. But there you go.
Wow.
Hillary Clinton and her minions need to be held to account for this.
And
this
her minions obviously include Twitter. Something's got to be done there. Really does. Something has to be done. All right. Let me tell you about real estate agents I trust. You need a realtor to show you the ropes, to help you through this really stressful time when you're hoping to get everything you possibly can out of your house. You love it. You lived in it. You worked on it. And now it's time to go. Maybe you're relocating to a new area. You need a realtor to get you through that process. Somebody who's trained to do all this, somebody who's done it for a long time really successfully. That's Real Estate Agents I Trust. Glenn started this company because he didn't want you to go through what he went through in Connecticut. And so they carefully vetted all of these realtors to make sure that they are the best realtors you can possibly find in your area. Same goes for buying a home, whether you're buying or selling. Real Estate Agents I Trust. The name really says it all. RealEstateAgentsITrust.com. Couple of tweets to share from Just Nita. We miss Rush. Thank you, Pat, for giving him a year, a tribute. He's been gone for a year. It's amazing. But she does know we are the best, and thank you. You're only saying that because it's true. Yeah. Thank you. Marine Mom USA tweets, there was no spying over and over. Reminds me of 1984. Keep saying it over and over and people accept it as fact. No chance of wrongthink. So true. They do that every time they're caught red-handed in a lie. They just continue the lie. And people are, well, they can't deny it now so it must not be true. Maybe they didn't do that. Jeffy is fat. Tweets.
Wait, that's the handle?
That's the handle. Jeffy is fat. While the nuclear scientist did betray his country, he did not, in fact, play on our fears.
Oh, no. No.
No, nobody's afraid of a peanut butter sandwich, right? I'm certainly not.
I mean, if it's crunchy, hell yeah, I'm afraid of it. I'm not touching that one.
There are some freaky, weird things going on. Bob Saget was found dead in his hotel room bed a few weeks ago. And at first they made it sound like, well, he probably had a concussion. He went to sleep and didn't wake up. Because they do say, don't go to sleep when you have a concussion.
Right.
I've never understood why. But that sort of brought that whole thing home. Well, then we hear that this was not a bump on the head. It's the equivalent of somebody taking a baseball bat to the back of his head, or a fall from 30 feet, or a severe car accident. Because he had his skull cracked in multiple places. It was fractured all over. Around to the side of his skull, there were fractures, and his eye socket was broken.
This was a severe impact.
Yeah, this was really bad. And then he just went to bed? Don't think so. Anyway, now the family of Saget is suing Florida officials in order to prevent the release of photos connected with the investigation. I can understand that. But they also don't want any of the death records associated with it. They're exempt from disclosure to the public under state law, but they're trying to make sure that none of this stuff is released to the public. Which led me to believe, or to wonder, why? Did somebody in the family kill him? And they're trying to keep that secret? I certainly hope not. And it seems unlikely. But check out this podcast from... When did this podcast occur?
This
just a few weeks ago, right?
October 25th, 2021.
A couple of months ago.
And this is Kelly Rizzo, his wife, and Bob Saget. And they talk about how they met, just their relationship, some other things. And then they start talking about movies and stuff.
And here's what happened.
And I know you love to also pepper in movies because you love the movies. And of course, I love movies too.
Pepper in movies. I live for movies.
Yeah, right. But, and as I said, I absolutely love movies as well.
You love there's 5 movies. You love Big Lebowski every day. You could watch Big Lebowski 4 times a day.
The Godfather, Wayne's World, Godfather 2, Goodfellas, Casino, Scarface. But
so I don't have long to live. These are your favorites. I'm going to be found dead in bed.
You better watch out.
Wild coincidence, obviously. Wild coincidence.
Cray.
Of course, he was found dead in bed just a few months after that particular episode. Interesting. Of course, we have absolutely no reason whatsoever, other than that really weird coincidence, to think that she had any motive or reason to kill her husband. And we're not alleging that she did. Just want to make that perfectly clear. There's no allegation. We're just saying that was interesting. Little clip of the podcast. Now, was he on the podcast on a regular basis? Was it his podcast? Was it hers? We don't know anything about that, do we? Everybody goes to my theory, though, that every living person has a podcast. And so, congratulations on yours, because I know you have one.
If you're listening,
you
have one.
You have a podcast.
Yeah, we, it sat there forever, and I finally just tossed it out. But there was a Babylon Bee article about a guy. They went hunting, and they made it to the wilds of East Texas, and they found the one guy who didn't have a podcast.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, they did.
Oh, that's weird.
Huh. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, and I guess they asked him. I'm trying to find the story here. Meet Steve, the last remaining American who doesn't have a podcast. So here's.
Oh, there he is. Wait,
Steve.
you get a little pop-up thing there. I hate that.
Pop-up
I hate it. But there he is. There's
Steve.
our friend.
There's Steve.
For some reason, he doesn't have a podcast. I guess the guy's got nothing to say.
Right. So they said, you don't have a podcast. Tell us about that. And Steve said, what? Who are you? How'd you get on my property? We're journalists. We can do what we want. Steve says, oh, yeah, I guess I just never got around to starting a podcast. I picked up one of them Shure SM7Bs a while back, and I thought about starting a podcast show about fly fishing, but, life gets in the way. They asked him, any plans to start one anytime soon? And he said, nah, I think I'll stay out of the podcast space for a while. I'm kind of enjoying life. And, it's hard to get guests every week. He's like, you're telling us you can only interview so many Christian musicians who were popular in the 90s before you start running out of steam. Steve says, yep.
Really good.
The Babylon Bee says, yep. Steve says, yep.
Yep.
And the Babylon Bee says, well, see you later. So
and
there
they
you
left.
Go. Yeah.
Okay,
and at
but
the time
we just met the last guy.
Right. At the time of publication, Steve had announced a podcast. Oh, a podcast about his experience of being the only person without a podcast. So now, thanks for the update, Babylon Bee.
Yeah, the Babylon Bee's awesome, aren't they? So good. All right. We got to show you one of the freakiest things I've seen, I don't know, maybe ever. Really, really, really strange. You will not believe this. These birds, and birds are scary for some reason in the first place. Maybe it's because of the movie Birds, but this is really, really weird stuff. And I guess there's a few theories as to why it happened, but you don't want to miss this. We're going to share that with you next. That's coming up on Pat Gray Unleashed.
Think they'll ever build a road between Keith's house and Pat's house?
No! Please, no! No! No!
It's Pat Gray Unleashed on The Blaze.
Let me take just 60 seconds and tell you about mygotodoc.com. You know, people email us and tweet us, call into the show, and one of the things that they wonder about and ask about is, where can I find a doctor online I can trust who's a COVID expert and a pharmacy that will fill prescriptions that might be a little out of the mainstream? Well, the answer to all of those questions is mygotodoc.com. Apparently, Omicron is milder than Delta, and hopefully that will mean that the pandemic ends really soon. But I'll tell you, we have, you probably know people too who had a really tough time of it. High-risk patients need preventative treatment, or at least meds on hand so they can start treatment fast. Quicker you can start this treatment, the better off it's going to be that you don't wind up in the hospital. And low-risk patients often benefit from off-label meds because they can prevent long COVID. Now, your friends are going to tell you, none of that stuff works. Ivermectin is horse paste. Don't even try it. Well, I mean, we have individual experiences here from Keith, from Glenn, from
Rob's got
Rob,
a story to tell, yeah,
on ivermectin. It just worked for them. So Dr. Saeed Haider has really built something great at mygotodoc.com. First of all, he is a COVID expert. That's all he does. He's treated over 40,000 patients, and he's experienced 0 deaths in 40,000 patients. Also, you can register for free. You can ask questions forever, and they will connect you with pharmacies that will ship you a full 28 doses of ivermectin for less than anywhere else online. This should be your go-to source for COVID-19, mygotodoc.com. That's mygotodoc.com. Check them out today.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
All right, we're going to show you this freaky occurrence that happened in Mexico in just a second. But first, let's go to Tom in Ohio. Yeah, and it's interesting that people are getting more virulent as time goes on.
Well, cults typically do.
They see that they're starting to lose their grip on this situation, and it's pissing them off. And so they're gonna get even nastier than they've been. And that's hard to believe that they can be nastier than they were. But they are. And so we got to be more committed than we've ever been. There was a
birds thing.
Yeah, I got that, but there was, before we get to that, because this kind of fits in, let's see, is it on the list here? It is not. But there was a Canadian. There's the Canadian. Is it the foreign minister? It's the justice minister.
All right.
And I've got it. I know I put it into the machine.
Uh-oh.
I'm just not seeing it as we're going here.
Okay.
But I know let's see.
I can't imagine. Canada, not a hotbed for controversial things happening in the world until lately. I would guess that you don't have too many Canadian-related clips in your machine.
That's why I was able to find it with the word Canada.
Here it is. All right.
But the problem in Canada is they've got their work cut out for them because these truckers have done such a great job and people are behind them.
Yep.
And so they are doing everything they possibly can to switch the public opinion around in their favor. And they're telling people that, hey, most Canadians don't feel like this. Well, yeah, apparently they do. But the Canada's justice minister was on one of the, I think it's a CBC broadcast, the Canadian Broadcast Company. And he was asking him about the rhetoric that is going on right now and the fact that you're kind of calling people who support the truckers terrorists. Do you want to mend that at all? Or what's going on there?
Look, you've just compared people who may have donated to this to the same people who are funding maybe a terrorist. I just want to be clear here, sir. This is really important. A lot of folks say, look, I just don't like your vaccine mandates and I donated to this. Right. Now it's illegal. Should I be worried that the bank can freeze my account? What's your answer to that?
Well, I think if you are a member of a pro-Trump movement who's donating hundreds of thousands of dollars and millions of dollars to this kind of thing, then you ought to be worried.
Then you ought to be worried. Okay, if I'm a member of the pro-Trump movement, how do you know if I'm pro-Trump or not? And I want to give money to somebody. I can do that without being a terrorist. And by the way, is anybody really giving hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars at a time to the truckers?
I don't know that they were talking about individuals. I think they were just talking about these large campaigns. And did you see the hacker up in Canada they got into Give, Send, Go, published the information of the donors. It sounds like he was working with the government. That's not 100% proven yet. But it almost sounds like...
I'll bet he was.
Yeah,
I'll bet he was.
And even Reuters helping in with the doxing, linking to the website where these people's information were of the donors. I mean, it's
despicable. And I don't care if you are with Give, Send, Go or with some major Trump-supporting organization. They're not terrorists. Are you kidding me? This shows you what a cult this is. And that why people are so angry on the side of why won't you wear a mask? Because we want to control you. You need to wear a mask. You need to do what you're told. You need to conform. And when you don't, man, do they get pissed. I mean, listen to this guy.
Yeah.
Jeez, he's a Canadian. What are you even talking about Trump for? Pathetic. It's just unbelievable.
They have tried everything up there. Everything to try to negatively influence.
Yeah. Called them racist, called them misogynists.
And then that's why they're putting the word Trump with this now, because they think it will play to turn people against them. Oh, there's just a bunch of Trumpers out there.
No, that's not the case. But all right, we're still going to get to the to the thing that happened in Mexico.
To the animal video that you
birds.
brought in, I'd like to point out.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
Got the birds coming up. But first, let me tell you about Keeps. Because if you're starting to lose your hair or it's been happening for a while, you need to get on it. The sooner you act, the better chance you have at a really good outcome. But Keeps has you covered. Keeps is really genius. They offer doctor-recommended, clinically proven, research-backed treatments to stop hair loss and improve hair growth. So whatever you're trying to do with your hair, you just want it to be thicker or healthier. Keeps has you covered. Keeps physicians will help you select the right products and treatments for your specific condition and hair goals. That's why when you go online, you answer some questions, take a few pictures of your hair and post those. And then the licensed doctor reviews all that and make sure that they come up with a plan that fits you. With a full year of unlimited messaging so you can connect with your doctor about anything, anytime. With Keeps, you get quality expert care without visiting a doctor's office or a pharmacy. Hair loss stops with Keeps. To get 50% off your first order, go to keeps.com/Pat. KEEPS.com/Pat.
Beware. Pat Gray is unleashed.
All right. Just an average normal day in Mexico. And a surveillance camera of some kind is catching this. I don't know if it's a Ring thing. Probably not, because it looks like a different angle than a Ring doorbell would have. But fortunately, there's some surveillance to show this to us. What a weird occurrence this was.
Yeah, keep watching.
Check this out. Okay, nothing going on yet. And then all of a sudden, birds, thousands of birds drop out of the sky.
In the world?
And some of them are just dead. What in the world just happened there? That's obviously somebody's whispering. So I don't know why they were watching that with a cell phone. Why are you looking at your neighborhood?
They're recording it for us to put on the internet.
No, I know they are. How'd they know the birds were going to come?
They went back and watched it.
Look at
That's gross.
that.
Those are pretty birds, too.
Yeah, they got the really cool yellow top on their
Can we
heads.
see that one more time? I mean, this is
bizarre.
This is so
It's really freaky. Yeah.
And
Just a normal neighborhood, nothing's going on, and then whoa. I mean, tens of thousands of birds drop out of the sky, and they counted them. About 100 of them died.
Okay. That's insane.
Just dropped dead out of the sky for nobody knows why. Very, very weird. And then a lot of people are saying, well, their battery ran out.
Their battery, birds aren't real. Their battery ran out in mass. Just
so Yeah.
So what do you think it was?
Very, very crazy. There's some explanations here from
what do you
bird
got?
experts. Because that's just not normal, you know. Several theories have spread, including a veterinarian suggesting that inhalation of toxic fumes, possibly from a heater, caused the bizarre incident.
Okay, no.
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 You're not
I'm
buying that
sorry.
one?
No, there was
Okay, how about
so
this?
many birds. No.
They also speculate that the birds may have been electrocuted while sitting on a power line.
No.
And then just all swooped out of the sky together?
Did you see all of those birds? There's no way they were on a power line together.
Not
Nice
all
try.
of them, that's for sure. Let's see. Richard Broughton, an ecologist at the UK Center for Ecology and Hydrology. I turn to them for bird answers all the time.
Yeah, they couldn't get an ornithologist?
No, they couldn't.
Okay.
Nope. But they got this ecologist. He told The Guardian that a predatory bird such as a raptor was the likely cause. Raptors apparently chase flocks of birds, causing them to fly tightly together before crashing into the ground.
No, come on. That many birds are that stupid? They didn't... Boy, where'd that ground come from? It wasn't here yesterday.
Nobody considered, you can't get us all. We're not going to swoop down to the ground. Nobody thought that in the whole bird flock? Yeah. Come on.
This is, I'm so far 0 for 3 on your little explanations there.
Okay, well, The Independent in Britain suggested that blame for the birds' deaths may lie with high levels of air pollutants. Yeah, it's air pollution.
I love this. Two of those
climate change
explanations are just like en masse. Yeah, we had this intake of pollution, or what was the first thing? Some air conditioner or heat. Or
yeah, toxic.
Yeah, and then we
fumes.
all just en masse, just all crashed to the ground. That's stupid too. What else you got?
Let's see. That's it.
That's it?
There have been incidents apparently of large numbers of migratory birds dropping dead in New Mexico. The birds that crashed in Chihuahua, Mexico, though, were migratory birds from Canada, and maybe they just got tired and all dropped out of the sky at the same time. Okay, we've come a long way.
Yeah,
I can't go another inch, and then some of them just dropped dead.
Okay, hold on a second. Maybe it was that. Maybe like the lead bird that all the other like sheep birds were following. Maybe he got tired, fell to the ground, and they were just following suit as birds do when they're
That's
migrating and whatnot. And then like
so
I guess we're supposed to crash into the ground like Joe up there.
So I'm going to do it too.
Yeah, dummies.
Then some of them didn't pull up in time, and they smashed their little beaks right into the ground. I don't know. That's weird, though, right?
That's very weird.
Very freaky.
I don't know if we'll ever get
A
an
little bit
answer.
chilling. It's like there's a couple of weird things going on, like that, and the disappearance of bees, and some just weird things in nature. So I don't know what the explanation is. But sadly, playing the birds has opened me up to a whole flock.
Oh, yes!
A whole flock of animal videos.
Yeah, you know what, y'all?
Keith swears these are incredible
so
videos that we're guaranteed to love.
When I saw Pat submit an animal video today.
Well, come on, that's freaky. That's not
totally,
an animal video.
No,
really.
that's a freak of nature video.
Yeah.
I thought, now's my chance. So here's.
All right.
Do you want a couple dog videos then?
So we got a dog who's herding sheep here?
So it's a traffic jam. The
Okay.
sheep are stuck in a traffic jam. Don't you wish you had this dog on your way into work today? Look at this. He's going to break it up for us. He just jumps on their backs, like, get out of my way.
And
All right,
then
come on.
comes right back down the ramp.
Get over.
Separating them.
Look at that. He broke it up.
Made them into single file.
Look at that.
Sheep are stupid.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
And dogs are smart.
But look at how smart that dog is. That's
Yeah.
really cool. What a great sheepdog he is.
So you like that one?
I liked it. That's okay.
He liked it.
Yeah, it's
All right. So do I push my luck with a second dog video?
Why not?
Okay. All right. So this dog, I think he's playing like the match game or something. You know how like you turn over the cards and you try to find the pair, you remember where it was and whatever?
Yep.
So I think they do that with kind of like little domino type tiles. Look at this thing here.
Okay.
Look at that. So they're scrambling them up. It's like a little shell game type thing, you know, the way they're shuffling them or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And he's watching, he's looking, he's keeping an eye on it. He's like, oh, that one goes with that one.
Oh, so he made a match.
Got it right. Okay.
Oh.
Wait.
Okay.
What do you mean?
Somebody's pulling a string and yanking on
What do you mean? He's
paw.
pulling up his paw?
And-
No, look at him. He's matching him. He doesn't even see. Look at that memory. Not only the memory, but the concentration to keep an eye on him when they were shuffling him. Look at that.
That's pretty good.
That is pretty good. So you
That's
like
pretty
that
good.
one, right?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay. Now I'm told
That looks like a great dog, though, doesn't it?
Wait, you get a thumbs up? Where's the treat? Where's a big slab of steak? Oh, here, good job. He's like, bro,
Hey, where's my steak?
I'm a
you promised me a
genius.
steak if I make these matches. What's this?
And that dog's smart enough. He'd probably say that too, and probably attack your face.
What we didn't see was him biting the owner's face off.
That's
he
right.
bit his face off because he didn't get the treat.
Now I want you.
And
to
I don't
know-
blame him, frankly.
I don't either.
I don't blame
either.
him.
He should just leave.
Uh-huh.
I'm being told in my ear. I have nothing to do with this. I have no idea. But apparently there's another animal video.
What?
I have no idea. What are we doing here?
Turtles weren't so stupid.
It's been a while.
Way to stretch it, baby. Way to stretch it.
Been a while.
Yeah.
I put it in my mouth. Straws don't belong there, but the turtles don't know why. So maybe they all deserve to die.
And they do. I'm so sick of turtles. I'm over turtles. They're dumb.
Uh-huh.
They're dumber than those sheep, actually.
Oh, yeah. Sheep are pretty dumb. I don't think I've ever seen a turtle jam like we just saw with the sheep jam.
Okay.
So,
But have you ever seen, now that Corby brings up a good point, the birds crashing en masse into the planet?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, where do they fit on the turtle and the
supposedly
sheep
birds
scale?
are really smart.
Mhm.
Birds supposedly have the intellect of something like an 8-year-old child.
Yeah.
Some birds, not all, but some birds.
We've shown on this show the lady who cooks breakfast and gives some to the birds, and they bring her little gifts and stuff, and she exchanges, and it's like it's like a swap there. You give me this rusty screw you found on the road. Nice job. Here's a piece of bacon, you jerk. And then what was the other thing? Oh, and the bird that was dropping rocks. They couldn't figure out why windshields were smashing in this hospital parking lot in Alaska.
And a bird was picking up rocks and dropping them on the windshield just for fun, just to be amused.
What kind of bird?
Really weird. And now chimpanzees have been observed applying insects to treat their wounds and the wounds of other monkeys around them. Well, chimpanzees.
Wow.
Isn't that weird?
That's like they're evolving or something.
At the Loango National Park in Gabon, adult chimpanzee Susie was shown inspecting a day-old wound on the foot of her adolescent son, Sia. Then she abruptly sits up, grabs an insect from a nearby branch, pops it in her mouth, squishes it up, and then she takes Sia's foot and applies the insect to the wound, and then repeated the process twice. So
wait a minute. So
then they waited around. This happened back in 2019, and so they thought, I wonder if other chimps will do that. They observed it 19 times where chimpanzees did this with wounds. And I guess the insect, I mean, this, to me, it shows how stupid they are. They should be using Neosporin or, Band-Aids, not bugs. That's gross. What are you? That shows how dumb chimps are.
Not impressed at all.
Not impressed.
You make a really good point.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, at least Bactine, something that's like antibacterial, and then you dress the wound with a Band-Aid.
Rinse it off first, at least, right?
Yeah.
Like soap and water.
Exactly.
Mild soap.
Yeah, can we have a
And
little
water.
cleanliness here? Don't be putting it in your mouth.
Ugh.
I don't know where your mouth has been. That's gross. So.
What a stupid son of a bitch.
Right?
Okay, I do have two questions, though, if I may.
You may.
Okay. Number one, so are these chimpanzees that are also doing this, did they observe her, or are they just all over the place?
No,
You're
they're
talking
all
about-
over the place.
Oh, wow. Okay, so that's number one. That's interesting. Number two, when she's chewing up the ant or whatever insect thing, like, is she like, she's smushing it or something, and then using that as like a paste?
Yes.
What does an ant body or an insect body do?
Are there healing properties of other bugs, like ants and beetles and millipedes and stuff? Do they have healing properties? I don't think so.
All right.
Which, again, goes to my theory that they're even more stupid than I thought they were because they're not using Neosporin.
Not only stupid, but just gross.
Yeah, that's nasty.
Just, grab the keys and
It
go
is
down to the
nasty, you're
Walgreens
right.
and get some...
Right. Thank you. Send somebody out to the drugstore if that's the closest, and just get yourself an antibiotic.
Tell you what. Now I got it. Next time we're at the zoo, let's just hand the chimpanzees a box of Band-Aids, some Neosporin, as you
and see if they know what to do with it.
And say, here, dummy, stop chewing up bugs.
If they do, then come to me and tell me that, we just discovered how smart chimps are. Okay, now...
Yeah, video.
I might go along with it. So, let me see it.
So that'll be an animal video that he will enthusiastically
I will play that. I promise. Yeah. I promise that will be played. At the top of the show, as a matter of fact. We'll lead with that.
Yeah, and do yourself a favor. Make it easy on yourself. I don't want you walking in with your hand. You have to hold all the bandages. Just put them in a bag.
Right.
And just hand the bag to the chimp. The zookeepers love that. When you reach through the cage and give the animal
stuff. And then if you see the chimps start to eat the Neosporin or throw the Band-Aids around in their habitat, then you know, they're just as stupid as Pat said they were. We don't have to bother with it anymore.
However,
if they apply it to a wound,
record it.
Put a Band-Aid on, record it, send it to us.
In fact, start recording before you actually hand it to, because we need all this on tape.
All right, we will finish off the week together tomorrow.
Pat Gray, only on the Blaze Radio Network.